This is another episode of Standup Comedy, your host and MC, celebrating 40-plus years on the fringe of show business. Stories, interviews, and comedy sets from the famous and not so famous. Here's your host and MC, Scott Edwards.
Hi, and welcome to this week's show. We have something great lined up for you today. I've got three talented comics to entertain you. Closing the show, somebody you'll recognize the name. You've seen a lot on TV. It's Dave Coulier, one of our original regulars, and we have a great live set from 1985. In the feature position, we have a very funny comic who went on to fame and fortune as an audience warm-up guy. I'll tell you more about that later. But for us, he was just a terrific featured act that worked well with the audiences, Daily Pike. And that's from 1980, a very funny set. And then opening things up in just a few minutes, we've heard him once before on the podcast. He was a MC originally for me in the early 80s, ended up being an opening act. And here's a short set from a British comic, Andy Roberts. So we have some great comedy lined up for you in this week's podcast. But before we get to that, I was reminded recently of a story that I thought you might find interesting. When I first opened the club in the banquet room of the Delta Queen restaurant, upstairs above the restaurant, I had a small postage-size office, and I used this to make phone calls and book acts and basically do the business of the club. And you got to picture this really small office, and as you walk in through the door, you're facing my little desk and me behind the desk. And I was doing some work one day, and this guy shows up, and it's late afternoon, it's before the show, and he introduced himself and said he wanted to be a stand-up comic. Well, we didn't even have open mics yet. We were still so new. And I kind of said, oh, okay, tell you what, why don't you show me a few minutes of what you have, and we'll go from there. And he said, sure. And immediately, this guy drops down on all fours and starts doing an impression of a dog. And I'm not talking just any dog, a big, angry dog. He's running around the floor in front of my desk. He's kind of like drooling, he's growling, he's barking. It was a little funny. He went over and pretended to pee on my coat, but it was running around, and he was just this big, angry dog. And all I could think as I was trapped behind my desk, but in between me and the door was this big, angry dog, was, how do I get out of here? It was a really bizarre situation. When he got done, I thanked him, and I said, well, we were working on some open mic nights, but I appreciated him coming by, and kind of shoved him out the door. And to be honest, I never heard from him again. But that was the most bizarre experience, working in my office, and all of a sudden, this guy doing this dog impression, trying to impress me. Anyway, I hope you found that interesting and maybe a little funny. It was really just bizarre for me. But tell you what, I know what is funny, and that is stand-up comedy. We have some great entertainment coming up for you. This first act, as I mentioned, he was actually in our open mics for a while, and we developed him into an MC and then an opening act. And he not only worked regularly as an open act, but ended up as a house MC at one of my clubs for a short time. Anyway, I know you'll enjoy his stand-up comedy. Ladies and gentlemen, to open up the show today, here's some comedy from 1985 by Andy Roberts.
Thank you. I was just talking to a couple back there that's celebrating an anniversary this evening, which brings me back to my anniversary. I celebrated my anniversary last week, but you guys are going to be really upset. I have the most perfect marriage, I really do. I'm married to a deaf and dumb nymphomaniac with a liquor store. And, No, don't laugh. My wife is funny. I came down this morning, found my wife ironing her bra, okay? So being a comedian, I said, what are you ironing that for, love? You got nothing to put in it. She said, I ironed your shorts as well. And, we do silly things when we're married, don't we, guys? Huh? Like, take, for instance, coming home late. Guys, what do we do every time we come home late? Come home at like 2 o'clock in the morning. We all do the same thing. What do? Switch the car engine off coming down the street, don't we, guys? Huh? And then what happens? We go straight past the drive because the steering lock's on. And then you back up, you go in the drive. You don't shut that car door till the morning, do you, guys? Huh? You miss the cat, you miss the milk bottles on the step. Isn't that funny trying to open that front door when you're drunk? You creep up the stairs, you open the bedroom door really quietly, and the bedroom is in complete darkness, but you know it's lying there because you can hear it breathing. The Incredible Hulk in pantyhose is waiting for you to come home. And then you creep round the side of the bed and you guys, you get undressed in the dark, you slip beneath the sheets, you think you made a home run, when all of a sudden at 2 o'clock in the morning, it suddenly wakes up and wants an argument. Guys, at this point in time, you have done the worst thing you could possibly do. You have awoken the bionic tongue. And if you've got a wife sounds anything like my wife, it will sound something like this. Where the hell you been? Someone to me last to me 3 years ago. You got drunk there. Honeymoon, you got drunk. I'm going to go to the big, you wouldn't pay the guy. I don't know where I met John Mark. I don't go there. I don't give a shit. Guys, don't do this anymore. Do what I do now. Do exactly the opposite, okay? Come home at like 6 o'clock in the morning, all right? Rev the car engine up when you're coming down the street, all right? Screech into the drive. The car door, guys, 3 times at least. Do, do, do. The milk bottles, smash them all over the street. Wake the whole neighbourhood up, all right? Shh. The cat, best one, up the butt. Meow. Use every single key to open that front door. Stomp up them stairs as if you own the place. Fling open the bedroom door, and guys, in your most sexiest and in your most seductive voice, say, darling, prepare yourself. For I'm in the mood for love. And you bet your life, guys, she'll be asleep then. Thank you very much. Good night. God bless. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Andy Roberts, a original opening act MC for me back in 1980 to about 1987. He was originally from England, as you could tell by his accent, and brought some charming comedy to laughs back in the day. Coming up next, our feature act, and this is a full set from a very funny guy. He worked for me a lot. This set comes from 1980. In other words, I had just started the club, and he was one of our favorite regulars. He came to us as a feature act, but ended up as one of our headliners in the early days of Laughs. He's a very funny guy, works well with the audiences. In fact, he's done a little bit of everything. He's an actor. You might have seen him on The Roseanne Show. He's also acted as a producer and director and did a movie, A Not So Average Joe. I don't know it personally, but he did produce and direct it. But his big claim to fame and what he did for over 25 years was a professional audience warm-up person. And if you weren't aware of it, all these shows, from game shows to talk shows to sitcoms, always had a comic act as like the warm-up and MC for the taping of the shows. So they're never seen on TV, but they had a really integral job in keeping the audience focused, telling them what was going on, because there's a lot of shutdowns and breaks during a television production. And this person acted as the MC, and they were almost always comedians because they would entertain the audience in between TV shots. And he did audience warm-up for shows like The Tracy Ullman Show, Dear John, The Arsenio Hall Show, The Drew Carey Show, and Less Than Perfect more recently, and The Ellen Show. So he is a very talented professional audience warm-up guy, and you're going to see why he was so good. Ladies and gentlemen, here's a great comedy set from 1980 in the original Delta Queen Laughs room. Oh, and in the intro, I intro him, and I try to do a joke that he gave me. It doesn't go over that well, but it's kind of funny, so you're going to hear me introduce him live on stage. Okay, enjoy this. Ladies and gentlemen, the comedy of Daily Pike.
Oh, we got to get things going here. Hey, by the way, the commercial time again. How, you guys, I saw some people eating in the back. How many people ate here at the Delta Queen? Anybody? I see you're new in town. No. The Delta Queen's, no, Delta Queen's got great food. You know, really, food fit for a king. Here, king, you blew my line. They wrote that joke for me. Okay, check please. Okay, the guy that wrote the joke's giving me trouble. Let's bring him right up. This next gentleman, you've seen him on all the major talk shows. He's been on the Dinosaur Show. Boy, that's tough to say. He was on the Make Me Laugh TV show, and you'll see him September 24th on the Mike Douglas Show. Let's bring up with a big round of applause, Mr. Daily Pike. Hell of a guy.
Here Here, King, here, King. Here, King, here, King. Here, King, here, King. Why, folks, how you doing? Wasn't Yaka good? He was very good, huh? Well, I'll tell you. He could only come out of his shell. That's his only problem. Okay. This is nice. You don't find a chandelier in a lot of clubs. This is good. So, I think they use this electric comedians. Eh? And a little later, we're going to be having our art showing. This is very nice. It's called Nude with Trout. Right here. It's kind of nice. Kind of like it. I like it. Hey. Oh. Yes, girls? Oh, I've never seen it. You're using those balloons to hold them up, huh? That's interesting. It's a new concept in bras. The new helium bra. That's right here. What is this, some kind of party here? Or what kind of party? A bachelorette party, huh? Ah, it's kind of a dating game. Okay. Bachelorette number 1. Are you soft-boiled, hard-boiled, or over-easy, huh? Woo, 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 woo. Who's getting married? Yeah, I couldn't tell with the, Yeah, that's what I want to do before I get married, wear a bunch of goddamn balloons on myself. That's what I want. Sure. So, where's the lucky guy, huh? He's having a party, too. Yeah, it's a little different than this, I bet. He ain't coming to no comedy club, I'll tell you that. Where's the woman and the cake? Put the meat on the table. Sure. Nah. So, no. What's your name, dear? You little married thing, you. What's your name? Margaret. And how long have you been going with your boyfriend there? A year. And are you saving yourself? What? Let me give you a little instruction book here. No, it's very simple. In, out, repeat as necessary. This is kind of nice. What do you have? Is this your purse here? See, the new pregnancy at home test kit's in here. This is nice. This is a test tube of chemicals. If the woman's pregnant, a dark ring will appear, and they have a special one for you single girls. A wedding ring will appear. We have it right here. This is kind of nice. And if you don't use the pregnancy at home test kit, you can always use. Have you heard this new thing? The Kotex security tampons. No, a lot of women being burglarized recently, and they need this thing. Serious. Oh, that's an interesting product. What, they have a couple of guards follow you around or something? Come on, lady. Hold it, security tampon. See? If there's big trouble, an alarm goes off, you know. Adam 12, tampon off. Woman surrounded by squad cars. Well, so anyway. Well, so how about the rest of you ladies? Are you just out celebrating, or are you going to get married, or anything like that? You guys? So is this a whole party? Right here. Boy, what a fun time, huh? I'll tell you. Is tomorrow the day? Tomorrow's a big day? No, next Saturday. Well, you're a week in advance. Wow. This is nice. Prepared. Well, folks, gee, heck, how you doing? Are you guys married? Terrifically married? And this is your wife, yeah? Oh, yeah. Don't want to leave any question. Ah, Heineken. I drink Heineken sometimes. I stopped drinking Heineken. Sounds like the Swedish word for behind, you know? Ja, Sven slipped and broke his Heineken. Those were they days, my friend. I've been staying with, me and Yaga stay in the same room, and so I've been picking up his accent. Those were the days, my friend. No, this is a nice place, a Marina Inn. We stay right over there. I don't think they trust us too much. Like the pictures are bolted to the wall here. Kind of ruins the Last Supper when Jesus says Halo is a lug nut, huh? Jesus, I kind of nut. Anyway, so heck. Well, what do you guys want to talk about tonight? Here's an idea for you. The audience picks right up on that. That's a funny bit. Here's an idea for you. Why is it when you die and they take you to the hospital, they always say he was pronounced dead on arrival, pronounced dead on arrival, huh? What, they have some kind of umpire doctor? You know, you're dead! He's not dead, he's dead. All right, get out of the hospital. You don't have undertakers anymore. They have a new name now. They're now called Directors of Subterranean Affairs. Kind of the guy that buries you. I saw a weird ad for Forest Lawn, too. You can see this in the Los Angeles Times any Sunday. It says, complete cremation, $250, huh? Who would want a partial cremation? Yeah, can you do an arm and a leg for like $75? I had an accident. I saw an ad in one of those, like swinger papers. This might have been your ad, huh? Huh? Sacramento Beauty, sensuous and thin, spank me, I'll spank you, whips, chains, ropes, leather, serious replies only, no weirdos. I don't think, did it? I never did figure it. Anyway, well, heck, so I just don't know where to start. This is a big election year. I don't know if you guys can be voting. The draft is a big issue, and here's a lot of women. You ladies think we should draft women, huh? Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, that'd really scare a commie, wouldn't it? Okay, come on now. Put that gun down. Come on. Stop it. Don't make me mad. Mean old commie. Probably scare those Russians to death. No, I don't think we should draft women. See, you have to come up with too much special protective equipment like armor-plated underalls with a cotton panel for comfort. And I don't think we should draft anybody. See, I figure if another country gets invaded, we should send a whole battalion of Harry Krishnas over, aggravate them to death, huh? We withdraw. I don't know if you knew that Reagan is the only candidate in favor of the electric chair. How many people knew that? It's true. But to conserve energy, he wants them to use less juice, kind of slow charbroil them, and say, new and vicious way to die, I don't think. President Carter's having a few problems. Well, he has one main problem. Little ugly daughter, Amy. She's so small. He's trying to get her married before he leaves the White House. Offered her to an Indian chief, but even he said, ugh, no way. You see Miss Lillian at the Democratic National Convention? Ooh, boy, didn't she look old? Ooh. I hear they're going to make wallets out of her skin when she dies. It's kind of nice. It's Miss Lillian wallets. I'm vicious tonight. Well, no, President Carter is trying to influence the Jewish vote, invited a lot of leaders to the White House, gave one of the sons kind of like a Georgia bar mitzvah. It was great, had a square dance and everything, Swing your partner here and there, take your yarmulke, throw it in the air. Promenade left and promenade right, we'll shalom all through the night. Don't give us Carter, don't give us Reagan, we prefer Menachem Begin. So it goes on. In fact, I wrote a song. This is a song about President Carter. I call this Hail to the President. When little Jimmy was a baby, sitting on Miss Lillian's knees, picked up a peanut, yeah, and a Bible in his hand, ow, and said, cause babies can't talk. Blue song, I can like it. Well, oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Is this how you talk? You don't want me to hear? Yeah, she figures I'm not going to hear when she talks like this, huh? Oh, Sally, do you want to try that? What do you want? A man. Give me a man. Oh. You kind of interested in guys? Voulez-vous? Well, I've never done it, but I'll try. Never had a girl offer voulez-vous, but what is voulez-vous? Oh, no voulez. Yeah. Well, what else can we talk about politically? The Moscow Olympics just finished. I don't know if you knew there's only one incident of cheating in the Russian Olympics. Apparently a Russian high jumper had a rocket up his ass. It's no world record. They couldn't believe it. Iran's in the news, too. I don't know if you know there's a strange religious group in Iran called the Kurds. How many people have heard the Kurds? Yeah, they worship cottage cheese, a very thin group of people. Give me some light. I happen to think we need the Iranian students in the United States, so I figure, after all, who else will work in the 7-Elevens? So, this is the type of problem that you're dealing with. Oh, I have a solution for the hostage crisis anyway. This is what we do. Have the army bake a giant pita bread. Fill it with soldiers, put it in front of the embassy. kind of like a Trojan pita bread, and they eat their way out. Well, that was popular with a couple of them. Well, gee. Well, let's get out of politics. We have a natural disaster, Mount St. Helens, a big volcano. Mount St. Helens, oh, it sounds like something out of a sex manual. Mount St. Helen, okay. We also have a man-made disaster, 3 Mile Island, and they're venting krypton gas in 3 Mile Island, though taking precautions, warning Superman to stay away from the area. They interviewed some people from 3 Mile Island, asked them if the radiation bothered them at all, and they said, thank you. Science has also given us something. This is a new organism that eats oil. Can you believe it? It eats oil. It's called a Buick, is what it's called. That sucker will eat oil. You wouldn't believe it. McDonald's is going into fast medical service. This is a new thing. You can get the exam, the double exam, the big McHernia. It's kind of a cute little deal. We've run out of Naugahyde furniture. Anybody have any Naugahyde furniture? You know why you don't have any more? They killed all the Naugas. They're on the endangered species list now, and you can't kill any more of those Naugas. I was reading in the paper today. Here's something interesting for you. How many people can believe that there's cocaine use in the NBA? Can you believe it? Hey, they began to suspect when a player went up for a slam dunk and never came down. It was like up there forever. I can believe it. I like all kinds of sports. I like football. You got any favorite football teams? How many people speak English tonight? Can we check this? Is there anyone at all? The Houston Raiders. That's a good team, yeah. I like them too, boy. You know, the women kind of get it messed up, yeah. Yeah, I like the Houston Reds. Yeah, I like some Reds myself. No, I kind of like the Cowboys. I like the Cowboys because they're great cheerleaders, huh? Well, this one was grabbed under the table, and no, not only are these cheerleaders very beautiful, they're very intelligent too. Some of the most motivating cheers I've ever heard in my life. Like, Okra, cauliflower, mincemeat pie. Y'all don't win, why we'll just die. Kick and fight and scratch and bite. Win today or none tonight. Oh, what a world! What a crazy wacky. How many people remember old Trigger, huh? You remember Trigger, the horse? Boy, it's a sad story. Roy Rogers has gotten kind of strange because not too long ago, Trigger died and he had the horse stuffed and put in his house. I mean, for you and me, that'd be like stuffing our grandmother, putting in the kitchen with a bowl of cookies, you know? Let's kind of have her there. That'd be kind of nice. There's also a rumor going around that Ringo Starr and Yasser Arafat of the PLO are the same guy. I thought it was crazy, too. Then I got to thinking, hey, I've never seen them together. Yeah. Who knows? It could be. It could happen to you. I don't know. I didn't have to be a comic, actually. I was going to be a male stripper at one time, and... What was that noise? What was that noise you made? No, Mrs. Wu from Japan. We're sorry. This is Mrs. Wu from Japan, and we're glad to have her here. Oh, thank you, thank you. Hello, I'm John Camlin Slacy for Timex. We're here in honeymoon suite of Tokyo Hilton. Well, we slapped Timex watch between this bride's legs. Let's get it. Timex takes a licking, but keeps on ticking. There's something to woo about. I'm so sorry. I'm so embarrassed. No. Actually, I was going to be a male stripper. I don't know if you believe that. And I went and auditioned, and I'll have to be honest with everyone. I won't lie. They turned me down, and said it'd be a little expensive to move back the stage, enlarge the ringside area, and frankly, they just didn't want... No, a lot of people think this is a leg. But my whole idea... Well, women are beginning to aggravate me anyway. I don't know. Women aggravate me because, see, women think that men are interested in one thing. And they're right. But we can't help it. Guys love football. I have it like... No, things are changing. It used to be that men could ask women about their measurements. Now, women are actually asking men about their measurements. And, well, thank God for the metric system is all I have to say. I'll tell you that. Very much. Help me out. Very much. Now, there's a big controversy involving women in business in New York. This is happening. In business, men would prefer it if women would wear dresses to work instead of these pantsuit type things they're wearing. I don't know if it makes much sense. Let's take a poll of the people here. By applause, how many people think women should wear dresses? Can I ask you to applaud, please? Okay. Okay, how many people think women should wear no dresses? Can we check this out? 508, 709, 56. Okay, how many ladies have husbands or boyfriends that secretly wear dresses? Can we check this out? Perhaps over here. Oh, back in the bag. That's interesting. Yes, right. Women wear something that's dangerous now. Those terrible spiked heels. I don't know who has them on. Spiked heels. Those are terribly dangerous. I saw a woman walking along in a shopping mall. She's on the 5th floor. Suddenly had a blowout, went over the rail. All into the gap. Okay. Poor woman. What can you do? You're away from home. Well, anyway. I was driving around today. Were you expecting an attack from behind or something? You keep looking back. What the fuck? Who's back here? Wow. No, you must be expecting someone. Here, read my lips. You must be expecting someone. Where are you from there? Right here. Right here. You're born here. This is interesting. I haven't... Oh, I see. Yes, there's the operating table and quite a place. No. That's okay. That's okay. You're here. You sit in the front row. Enjoy it. It's really great. I was driving around today. I'll get back in here. I was driving around today in Sacramento. This guy pulls up next to me driving a brand new luxury car, you know, power tilt eyebrow, and that's right, Perrier water in the radiator, and we both pulled in the same parking lot. So I was getting out of my car. I was thinking, you know, how do you really upset a guy that just bought a Cadillac Seville, right? So I walked up to him and said, "Hey, pal, nice looking Granada you've got there." Have you seen this family on TV that owns all these Pintos and will admit it on TV? Hi, we're the McKinner family, and we own 9 Pintos. We're stupid. Yep, I snort tiger. Probably the most deceptive ads are the ones for, like, the airlines, you know. Always show the stewardess serving nice hot food, right? Never show the real situation right as you board the plane. Ladies and gentlemen, if I will be delayed, the captain has lost the keys to the airplane. I also hate riding with people that bring everything they own to put on the seats and around and under, and Mountain Family Robinson boards a plane. I mean, sitting next to him is terrible. It's like this. Could you scoot your stuff over? Yeah, thanks a lot. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, that's much better. I saw kind of a strange sign in the parking lot of an airport, too. This might interest you. It said, these parking spaces reserved for the blind. What? Expect to see trained dogs parking the cars, you know? You blind? I don't know if you knew they stopped use of all those controversial marijuana sniffing dogs at all the airports. They found out from day to day the dogs could not remember where to report for work. And every 5 minutes it kept begging for Twinkies. And these were hungry dogs. There's a new drug out now. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this stuff. Angel dust. You heard of this stuff? Angels? Actually, it's very dangerous. It's animal tranquilizers, and thank God they busted the guy that was selling all this stuff, Mr. Ed, the talking horse, and had to call for bail. Wilbur, I've been busted. Sorry, Ed, what can you do? Well, that to be go from here. Hi, folks. I'm Merle Clark for RCA Color Track. My eyes are red, my teeth are brown. My mouth is white and chalky, and my skin is yellow. If these colors look right to you, you'll know I have hepatitis. Wow. I'm dying. Hello. My name is Ricardo Montalban for Chrysler Cordova. Just this year again, the Chrysler Cordova is beautiful. Just look at that styling. 14 aerials, PA, CB, quadraphonic stereo, television, aquarium, microwave oven, payphone. Floating dice, plastic Jesus to watch for cops. And the roominess enough room in the backseat alone to tie your girl down with rich Corinthian leather. Slowly, Oh, I see. 5'9", 5'9", 5'7" from the East German judge. Well, how would you think? Well, shoot. Heck fire. Your 10s. Oh, you've rated yourself? All you girls are rating yourself? Do you got girls rate yourself like from 1 to 10? Well, what are you? We're all 10s. Well, I'm about a 12 myself. But, well, just kidding. No. You haven't said a word all night. I haven't messed you. Here you come up and try and embarrass me like this. I can't believe it. You look a little bit like Rodney Dangerfield. Anybody ever tell you that? Anybody ever tell you that? Seriously, you do. No, I know Rodney. No, you do. You look a little bit like him. You do. Seriously, you have the same kind of... Doesn't he? Stand up here. Let's see this man. Stand up here. Then turn around. These people can't see you. Doesn't he look like... Hey, I don't get no respect, huh? Walked in the bar, asked for a double. Sure enough, a guy came and looked just like me. Hey, don't get no respect. Well, let's do some more music here. This is kind of a love song. I'm sure you recognize it. I have to... If you all just clap your hands like this, kind of a rhythm here. Just take a second. Come on, let's... Light, this is good. A love song. Oops. Keep on. Feeling. Nothing more than feeling. Ah, you've heard it. And now James Michener's Centennial. The British are coming. Tell your husband to meet at the town square. The British are coming. Tell your husband to meet at the town square. The British are coming. Tell your husband to meet at the town square. He's not home. Whoa, boy. Whoa. Well. And now, the New York Metropolitan Opera presents The Hairstylist of Seville, a mother's tragic discovery that her son smokes marijuana. Please save bravos and bravissimos for the end of the opera. Oh, yes, I love to smoke the marijuana. It makes me high, so very high. I take one hit and then I take another. I reach the sky, then I can fly. But you don't realize the terrible dangers of smoking pot. It's not so hot. Yes, you should suffer permanent lung damage from poison pot with paraquat. What? Smoke it till you choke. Joints and reefers, take another toke, and then you smoke, and then you toke, and then you choke, and then you croak. Poison marijuana, this here dope is just no joke. We know that's all government propaganda. They tell us not to smoke the pot. Oh yes, I love to smoke the marijuana with chocolate chips or Fritos and dips. Colombian is plentiful, Jamaican is too. If I grew mine in Georgia, I'd smile like Carter too. I love to smoke, I love to talk, sometimes I choke, I'll never croak. If Congress had joint sessions, the United States would have some hope. La 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 la. Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Daily Pike. And as you can hear from his humor, he's really good with an audience, very funny. And as I mentioned earlier, made his money as an audience warm-up professional, doing dozens of shows between 1980 and 2010. He's a very, very funny guy, and I know you enjoyed that. And now coming up, our closing headliner for this show. And we have a treat for you, one of our favorite acts going way back to 1980. This particular live set was taped in 1985, and it's a very funny comic, Dave Coulier. I know you know the name. He was a regular on the TV show Full House and more recently Fuller House, but he's done much, much more than that. He was the host of America's Funniest People, and if you didn't know it, he did a lot of cartoon voices. He did the voice on the cartoon show The Real Ghostbusters. He was in the Muppet Babies movie where he played Animal and Bunsen. And you've heard him on shows like Scooby-Doo and also American Dad. He's done voices for many, many cartoon shows, and he's an actor, and he's a very funny comic. In fact, he started working for us as a featured act, was brought up by Bob Saget back in 1981, and ended up working the club many, many times and became a very close friend, so much so that he did actually join us for my bachelor party back in 1984. Hey, let's just introduce our closing headliner, one of the best in the business. I know you'll enjoy the short set recorded live in 1985. It's Dave Coulier.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's nice to be a part of this show. They told me it was going to be a color show, so I dressed appropriately. Now, see, that's for the people now who just saw Willie Tyler and Lester go up. Now, if they went out to get a pop or a sandwich or something, they're going to come back into the room now and look at the set and go, honey, the color just blew out on the set. So I'm trying to get back into shape. Everybody's trying to get in shape. Nobody ever lets themselves go and tries to get out of shape. Nobody ever says, you know, I'm going to drink about 2 cases of beer at McDonald's and about 10 Big Macs and try and balloon up to about 450 this month. A friend of mine was telling me, he said, you know, Dave, losing weight is the toughest thing to do. I would think losing height would be a little tougher, don't you? All right, jumping jacks with a safe on your head. Ready? Feel those knees buckle? Yeah, all right. Start becoming a couch potato, you know. You're sitting there laying on the couch, you know. Honey, come in here. Dump some sour cream on me. Yeah, you forgot to wrap me in tinfoil. Yeah, could you just poke me a few times? I'm starting to heat up here, you know. Watching TV, that's how I grew up, though. As a kid, boy, I used to watch television. Saturday morning, I used to get up and watch cartoons. Remember that? Remember? I got hooked on cartoons when I was a little kid. I used to get up with my pajamas on. I had the kind with the feet in the bottom. How many want to admit they had those? Yeah? It's great. You walk around all morning. Pretty soon your feet are that long. Whoa, flopping out. Hey, look. Hey, yeah, I'm dusting, Mom. Shot a pledge. I'll dust the whole house. Okay. That TV set cranked up at 5:30 in the morning on Saturday because you figure, I'm up, shouldn't everybody get up? Why not? Used to watch those cartoons. Some of my favorites I used to watch. Now, maybe there were some of your favorites. I used to watch Sherman and Peabody and their Wayback Machine. Remember this show? Had the goofy music in the beginning, kind of went... Little statues of famous people would cruise by. One would fall and break. That little man with a mustache would sweep up. Sherman would come out with those big glasses on and go, well, where to today, Mr. Peabody? I was like,
well, Sherman said the Wayback Machine for 1492. Remember that?
Now, I realize there might be some older folks sitting here going, hell, I just don't get it. I don't know. We had some great shows. Of course, the Jetsons are back for 42 new episodes coming back out. And, yeah, they're bringing back the original cast, which I thought was a lot of sincerity on their part, sure. Including all the people who did their voices. The Jetsons were great. They had all the modern day technology. Little family spaceship that they would cruise around in. Meet George Jetson. That little... Wouldn't that noise freak you out if you were walking out of here tonight all of a sudden? You guys, the Jetsons. I am freaking out. You know. Had that great dog walking around their house. Right, roars, roars, roars. Restaurant. I had a lot of heroes on those cartoons. I always like, and now Bullwinkle's Corner.
Thank you. A little poem. Spider, spider on the wall. Don't you have any brains at all? Don't you see the walls just been plastered? Don't you see that, you little spider?
You know, kind of. We edited that, right? We edited that. Yeah, I had a lot of favorites on those cartoons. I always liked Popeye. Seemed like Every episode of Popeye the Sailor was exactly the same. It was where Popeye and Bluto were fighting over olive oil, and I think we could see why. What a bod, huh? Yeah. Olive oil always gets in some kind of stupid predicament in the beginning of the show. Oh, Popeye, oh dear, oh my.
Oh boy, that dizzy broth's got a
If you watch enough shows, you can understand why this relationship between Popeye and olive oil existed in the first place. I mean, every time he'd see her, it was like,
Well, blow me down, olive oil.
yeah, I'd laugh just like that, too. Cut it out. Come on, cut it. Of course, Popeye and Bluto would start, when they would fight, you'd see that big cloud of dust, right? And then their arms and legs would fly. Popeye, look at it. And Popeye's arm would reach out, grab a can of spinach that, of course, just happened to be there, right? Chugs this stuff down, and you'd hear the Popeye theme music. And Popeye's arms would start going nuts, and that was the best part. Because at that time, you'd get to see which picture was going to appear in Popeye's muscle. And the guy had everything in there, right? We're talking hurricanes, marching bands, battleships in this man's bicep. Now, suppose one of you guys got in a fight with this guy, and all of a sudden he went, battleship. You just kind of go, I think you already kicked my butt, all right? Of course, he chugs that stuff down, knocks Bluto for one big solid punch.
Whoa.
Those guys were always mumbling stuff under their breath. I listened to one show really close. I swore I heard Bluto mumble, oh, the heck with it, Olive. You got no boobs anyhow. Of course, Popeye knocks Bluto out, and at that time, Popeye wins his beautiful, vivacious-looking queen. You guessed it, olive oil. Yeah, and what a babe, huh? Check her out.
Well, don't even call if I'm out with me. Olive, says Popeye the Sailor Man.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Cut. Oh, quit it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Dave Coulier live on stage at Laughs, and we're so excited that he was one of our regular acts for many, many years. He went on to fame and fortune on Full House and now Fuller House. You all know him, and now you've heard him doing voices. You can recognize him from the cartoons he's done, the TV shows he's done. He's just a great personality and celebrity, and we're just lucky he was part of our beginning days at Laughs. All right. That has been our show for today. We hope you enjoyed Andy Roberts, Daily Pike, and Dave Coulier. Thanks again for joining us. Be sure to share. And don't forget, next week, another great show. Bye.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Stand-Up Comedy, your host and MC. For information on the show, merchandise, and our sponsors, or to send comments to Scott, visit our website at www.standupyourhostandmc.com. Look for more episodes soon and enjoy the world of stand-up comedy. Visit a comedy showroom near you.